How was your night last night?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Say what's up to the vlog.
The vlog, you're vlogging.
How do you feel after last night beating Jake Paul?
What's the name of the vlog?
KJ Camps.
KJ Camps. Shout out to the KJ Camps supporters.
Thank you.
Let's talk, baby. How are you?
Oh, sorry.
I'm a little fucked up, but will you take care of me forever and ever?
Tonight, Jake has spirit. He has some heart. He tried his best, and I take my hat off to him because, number one, a lot of fighters haven't got in the ring with me, and Jake did. And secondly, even when he got knocked down, he kept on trying.
Jake Paul just got knocked out by Anthony Joshua, broke his jaw in 2 places, and then something nobody expected happened. Anthony Joshua showed up at the hospital to visit him.
We fight. We're licensed to kill. I'm sure many people don't understand it, but this is what my job is, and I just enjoy what I do. Whatever happens, happens. As long as my hand's raised, that's what's important.
Here are last year.
Oh yeah, bro, I got a new big hole right.
This fight happened on December 19th, 2025 in Miami. The whole world watched on Netflix. 33 million people tuned in to see what would happen when a YouTuber stepped into the ring with a real heavyweight champion. And what they saw was exactly what boxing experts predicted would happen. Before the fight, everyone had an opinion. Joe Rogan called it one of the craziest ideas ever. He said Anthony Joshua is one of the scariest knockout artists in heavyweight boxing. Rogan kept warning people that Joshua has real power, the kind that ends fights with one punch. He said Joshua moves fast even though he's a heavyweight, and that's what makes him so dangerous. Then you had Alexander Usyk, who actually beat Joshua twice. Usyk said something that made everyone nervous. He told reporters, if Anthony Joshua wants, he will kill this guy. That wasn't trash talk, that was a warning. Usyk even compared them, saying Joshua is like a Rolls-Royce and Jake Paul is like a Fiat. The message was clear. These two fighters weren't even close to the same level. But Jake Paul believed in himself. He'd been boxing for 5 years. He'd won most of his fights. Sure, they were against retired MMA fighters and older boxers, but Jake thought he had a real shot. His only loss was a close decision against Tommy Fury. Jake was confident he could pull off the biggest upset in sports history. The size difference was huge. Anthony Joshua weighed 243 pounds. Jake Paul weighed 216 pounds. That's almost 30 pounds lighter. Joshua also stood 6'6" with an 82-inch reach. He was simply bigger, stronger, and way more experienced. When the fight started, Jake did exactly what everyone thought he would do. He ran. From the very first bell, Jake circled around the ring, moving left and right, trying to stay away from Joshua's power. The crowd started booing almost immediately. They didn't pay to watch someone run around for 8 rounds. Joshua stayed calm. He walked forward slowly, cutting off the ring, throwing punches that mostly hit air. In the first round, barely anything landed. The second round was more the same. Jake kept moving, and whenever Joshua got close, Jake would grab him and hold on tight. By the third round, you could see Joshua starting to figure things out. He landed a body shot that made Jake buckle a little bit. That was the first real sign that Joshua's power was getting through. But Jake survived the round. Round 4 got messy. Jake went down to the canvas multiple times, sometimes claiming low blows, sometimes just falling. The referee, Chris Young, finally had enough. He stopped the fight and told both fighters, the fans ain't paying to see this crap. Even the ref was frustrated with how the fight was going. Everything changed in round 5. Anthony Joshua landed a right hook that sent Jake to the canvas. Jake got up, but he was breathing hard now. You could see the fight was catching up to him. Then Joshua dropped him again with a combination. Jake's legs looked tired. His plan to move and survive for 8 rounds wasn't working anymore. His cardio was failing him. Late in round 5, Jake actually landed his best punch of the night. He caught Joshua with an overhand right, but it didn't hurt Joshua at all. That's when Jake probably realized just how big the gap was between them. His best shot did nothing. Round 6 ended it all. Anthony Joshua came out and immediately started attacking. He landed a right hand followed by a left hook. Jake went down again. Then Joshua trapped Jake on the ropes and just unloaded punches. The final right hand landed clean on Jake's chin and sent him to the canvas one last time. Jake couldn't beat the count. The referee waved it off at 1 minute and 31 seconds of round 6. The fight was over. Anthony Joshua won by knockout just like everyone predicted. But here's where it gets interesting. Jake didn't just lose the fight. He broke his jaw in 2 places. He lost multiple teeth. He had to go straight to the hospital for surgery. Doctors put 4 titanium plates in his jaw, 2 on each side. They told him he could only drink liquids for 7 days, no solid food at all. Jake posted a video from his hospital bed later. He looked pretty beat up, but he was in good spirits. He told everyone,
Fiance Utah, this sport has helped me so much in my life. I think my jaw is broken, by the way, so yeah, it's definitely broke. But man, that was good. Nice little ass whooping from one of the best to ever do it. So I love this shit, and I'm gonna come back and get a world championship belt at some point.
His brother Logan Paul came to his defense immediately. Logan said he was proud of Jake. He pointed out that nobody expected Jake to last 6 rounds with Anthony Joshua. Logan said,
In my opinion, he won 4 of them. People argue that. He at least won 3. No one expected him to last that long. Rolled his ankle, broke his jaw, still fucking fighting, man. Like, that.
Logan made a good point about the size difference, too. He said Jake stepped in the ring with someone who was 40 pounds heavier and 6 inches taller. Most people wouldn't have the courage to do that. Then came the moment nobody saw coming. Anthony Joshua went to the hospital to visit Jake Paul. There weren't cameras following him, no big media event, just a quiet visit between 2 fighters after a brutal fight. Anthony Joshua wanted to check on Jake and make sure he was okay. This wasn't just about being nice. In boxing, there's a culture of respect. When you share a ring with someone, when you go through a real fight together, it creates a bond. Anthony Joshua showing up at the hospital proved something important. He respected Jake for taking the fight, even though he dominated him. Joshua talked about his own performance after the fight. He admitted it wasn't his best work. He said
Look, it wasn't the best performance. It wasn't the best. The end goal was to get Jake Paul, pin him down, and hurt him. That has been the request leading up, and that what was on my mind. It took a bit longer than expected, but the right hand finally found it.
When asked if he deserved criticism for taking 6 rounds to finish Jake, Joshua didn't make excuses. He said, "I deserve it." He explained that as an elite fighter, he should have done better. He even said if he was coaching himself, he'd be angry that he let Jake last that long. But Joshua also gave Jake credit. He said Jake has spirit and heart. He said even when he got knocked down, he kept trying to get up. I take my hat off to him because, number 1, a lot of fighters haven't gotten the ring with me, and Jake did. Joe Rogan had strong words about Jake's future after this fight. Rogan urged Jake not to do this much longer. He said the price fighters pay isn't worth it. Rogan warned about depression, brain problems, and addiction that come from taking too much damage. He said 1 punch from Joshua was like 10 punches worth of damage. He specifically mentioned the broken jaw and said there's a lot of brain damage that happened too. Donald Trump even weighed in on the fight. He watched it on Air Force One and posted about it. Trump said, "On the plane, I just got to watch the Jake Paul fight, and he did really well, especially as a display of great courage against a very talented and large Anthony Joshua. Fantastic entertainment, but kudos to Jake for his stamina and, frankly, ability against a much bigger man." The boxing world is now talking about what's next for both fighters. For Joshua, everyone wants to see him fight Tyson Fury. That's the biggest fight in British boxing history. Right after beating Jake, Joshua called out Fury directly. He said if Tyson Fury is as serious as he thinks he is, and he wants to put down his Twitter fingers and put on some gloves and come and fight one of the realest fighters out there that will take on any challenge, step in the ring with me next. Fury and Joshua have been talking about fighting each other for years. It never happened. But now, with Joshua coming off this big knockout win, the pressure is on Fury to finally make it happen. Promoters say it could happen in September 2026. As for Jake Paul, he needs time to heal, 4 to 6 weeks minimum for the jaw to recover. He's already joking about it, though. He posted on social media, "Double broken jaw, give me Canelo in 10 days. That's classic Jake, still talking big even after getting knocked out. Jake also said he's going back to cruiserweight. That's a weight class where fighters are closer to his size. Fighting heavyweights like Joshua might be too dangerous for him. He's ranked 15th in the world at cruiserweight, so he could actually work his way up to a real title shot there. This fight proved something important. Weight classes exist for a reason. Experience matters. You can't just believe in yourself and expect to beat an Olympic gold medalist who's been boxing his whole life. Jake Paul is tough, no doubt about it, but toughness alone isn't enough at the highest level of boxing.